It's 95.96.1 The Rock. We're on the phone right now with Jimmy Tatro, the star of the new show on Netflix, American Vandal. How you doing today?
I am great. How are you?
We're doing wonderful. We're talking about this new show, which I think I'm on episode 3 right now. So far,
okay.
I love it. It's great. It's very funny. You teamed up with Funny or Die on this. What's the background of this new show, American Vandal, and what's it like to work with Funny or Die?
It was actually a project that came through my inbox. It was super, secretive, which I wasn't. What it was a cool project, and it had all these links to open it. You weren't allowed to print it out. You couldn't screenshot it. That the file will terminate. It was, I don't know if this is Titanic 2 or what I don't know what this is, but it seems crazy. And then I auditioned, and I remember I finally heard about the concept after I got the role. And I didn't really know how big the part was. And I just remember sitting on a plane and hearing the concept from Tony and Dan just cracking up.
Nice.
Next to some guy that was just had no idea what was going on.
That is pretty stellar. It's a true crime satire series for folks who aren't familiar. What about the satire element makes it so much fun for you, and why do you think that's important?
I think it was what they did so well was just that they kept the tone the same the whole time. It was a very serious tone that really reflected the way that these other true crime documentaries go. It really had a tone similar to Making a Murderer or Serial, and even though what we were talking about was so incredibly ridiculous, the juxtaposition of the seriousness of the whole thing, I think that really carried the whole project.
Excellent. What kind of research goes into preparing for a role like Dylan? I mean, do you just kind of relate it to your own high school experience? Everyone kind of has that Dylan Maxwell character at their high school.
I think, I would say I would agree with that. I think there was a lot of, the director and the creators had a very clear vision of what they had in mind for Dylan, and that helped me out a lot. I've also played a lot of characters, somewhat similar to Dylan, in that kind of dumb stoner way. But what was different about Dylan was that I had to bring a level of sensitivity that, so people would actually feel bad for him, which wasn't something I had really done before. So that was the most challenging part for me.
That's pretty awesome. Tell me about your highly successful YouTube channel, because it's got a ton of content. And what's been the transition to TV and movies? And is it important to you to keep your YouTube identity separate from what you're doing with movies and the small screen?
Yeah, for so long I wanted to just use YouTube as a platform to jump to movies and TV, and I always kind of imagined myself getting to a point probably around now where I would just step away from YouTube entirely. But as things have gone on and the market has completely changed, and the digital world and the traditional world have just started to really blend, I just kind of realized the importance of maintaining an online audience and keeping up engagement on my YouTube channel. So at the moment, I'm kind of trying to do both. That would be ideal. In an ideal world, all is going at the same time. But,
very, very cool. Absolutely.
Time doesn't always work out like that.
Yeah. So what's a couple of questions here? What's coming up in the future for you? And my final question after that: who drew the dicks?
In the future, I'll quickly sidestep that one. In the future, I got a movie coming out called Action Number One. It's a true story about a group of kids that actually stole a $2 million comic book from Nicolas Cage, and then tried to ransom it back to him. It's based on a true story, believe it or not.
Awesome.
So that's coming out in the next few months. I've got a few other projects in development that I'm really excited about that are finally starting to come to fruition. In terms of who drew the dicks, I don't want to say for sure. I personally think it was Krista Carlisle, but a lot of people seem to think differently. I know I was talking to my friend last night, and he was convinced it was Peter and Sam, and he made a very, very convincing argument for why he thought it was Peter and Sam. And I was like, okay, I mean, yeah. I'm like, no, they have alibis, man. He's like, what are their alibis? I was like, well, I mean, I forgot what their alibis are. He's like, exactly. I told you. You don't know what it is.
That is awesome.
Like, okay, man. Yeah, I think what's cool is that people are actually able to, you know, they left it somewhat open-ended, which is the way these things kind of go. You know, the serial ends, making a murder ends, and it doesn't give you that great feeling in your stomach of, yes, I know exactly who did it for sure. And I think that was kind of the point of that, the reason why they didn't really, you know,
Absolutely.
make it.
Let people watch it for themselves and make up their own conclusion. Very, very cool.
They have some crazy conclusions.
Yeah, exactly. I bet you get tons of fan mail and tons of crazy questions and people hitting you up on Twitter and all that stuff with crazy conclusions.
Oh, crazy conclusions, pictures of things that look like penises. I've been just getting it all, man.
Comes with the territory, I guess. Well, we thank you for your time, and check out Netflix's new show, American Vandal. Jimmy Tatro, we appreciate your time, and we look forward to the future.
Thank you. Go Brewers.